Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Najmi Firdaus and I'm an international relations student at the National University. I'm here to give you an exposure of what issues and impact we are facing after the COVID-19 pandemics, and also how I'm looking at it from a student perspective. So, the COVID-19 pandemic has led to dramatic loss of the human life worldwide and present unprecedented challenge to public health, food system, and the world of work. The economic and social disruption caused by the pandemic is devastating. Tens of millions of people are at risk of falling into extreme poverty, while the number of undernourished people, currently estimated at nearly 690 million, could increase by up to 132 by the end of the year. The pandemic has been affecting the entire food system and has led to bear its fragility. Border closure, trade restriction, and the confinement measure have been preventing farmers from the access marketing, including for buying input and selling their product. And agricultural workers from the harvesting crop, thus disrupting domestic and international food supply chains and reducing access to healthy, safe, and diverse diets. The pandemic did designed to job and place millions of livelihoods at risk. As the breadwinners lost jobs, fell in diet, the food security and nutrition of millions of women and men are under threat, with those in low-income countries, particularly the most marginalized population, which includes small-scale farmers and the indigenous people being hardest hit. Millions of agricultural workers, wage and self-employed, while feeding the world, regularly face high levels of working poverty, malnutrition, and poor health, and suffer from a lack of safety and labor protection, as well as other types of abuse. With low and irregular income and a lack of social support, many of them are spared to continue working, often in unsafe conditions, thus exposing themselves and their families to additional risk. Further, when experiencing income losses, they may resort to negative coping strategies such as distress sale of asset, predatory loans, or child labor. Migrant agricultural workers are particularly vulnerable because they face risks in their transport, working and life conditions, and struggle to access the support measures put in place. Guaranteeing the safety and health of all agri-food workers, from primary producer to those involved in food processing, transport and retail, including street food vendors, as well as better income protection, will be critical to saving life and protecting public health, public livelihood, and food security. In response to the shutdown of school worldwide, educational institutions adopted distant learning to ensure that students will still getting an education while the world continued to battle COVID-19. The distant learning, which was often achieved through the use of various online research, was quickly initiated at the academic level within uncertain duration. Although many higher education institutions were already familiar with online teaching platforms, most teachers were left with little to no information on how to transition from in-person teaching to distant learning. As a teacher, student, as well as the parents, we are also unprepared for the transition to online learning. COVID-19 not only exacerbated the socio-economic healthcare gaps and that exist in many parts of the world, but also highlighted the well-documented opportunity and enrichment gap that exists between high and low-income student population. The opportunity gap ultimately led to the digital divide, which refers to the fact that some children do not have access to the device and internet services that are needed for online learning. School closures are cause the student to experience a prolonged state of physical isolation from their friends, teacher, and family members, since social isolation in adults is often associated with a wide range of negative psychological effects, It's not surprising that these restrictions are also affecting the mental health of children and adolescents. In fact, several studies hypothesize that children and adolescents are more likely to experience high rates of the depression and anxiety after the pandemic has ended. As the duration of isolation continues to extend and repair, theories have that the negativity outcomes also increases. Now is the time for global solidarity and support, especially with the most vulnerable in our societies, particularly in the emerging and developing world. Only together we overcome the intertwined health and social and economic impact of the pandemic and prevent its escalation into the protect humanitarian and food security catastrophe with the potential loss of already achieved development gains. Thank you.